"So," Amy says, "how do we know where to find the researchers' camp?" Mark looks down at the researcher's corpse. He spies another piece of paper. He picks it up and sees that it's a map. "According to this map," he says, "the researchers' camp is to the northeast of our current position." "Then let's go," Amy says. "But first," Mark says, "we need our—" Mark goes to pick up the candle, but notices that it is completely burned out. There is no wax left. "Oh no," he says. Amy looks over and sees the candle. "How are we going to be able to see anything now?" she asks. "Let's just get going," Mark says. "I'm sure there will be more candles or lamps or something at the researchers' camp." Amy and Mark start running through the forest in the direction of the researchers' camp. They can hear low, rumbling growls as they run through the forest, but they do their best to ignore it. Suddenly, a long tongue flies through the air and grabs Mark. Some creature has grabbed him and is pulling him in to be devoured. Amy fires her shotgun in the direction that the tongue came from. They hear a screech, and then the tongue goes limp, dropping Mark. The teenagers can hear the other nearby monsters running away, frightened by the deadly efficiency of the shotgun. Mark and Amy continue running. Then they can hear the sounds of beating hearts. They look and see the heart creatures behind them. Amy raises her shotgun and prepares to fire. "No," she says, putting down her shotgun. "We can't kill our parents." With no other options, the teens just run. They dart and weave through the trees, using their agility to avoid the heart creatures. Eventually, they can see shapes in the distance. "It looks like tents," Mark says. "This could be the researchers' camp." Then, the teenagers can hear a loud, monstrous roaring. They see another one of the huge creatures, like the one they saw before at the lab, is stalking the camp. It starts running at them. Frightened by the huge creature, the heart creatures run away. The huge creature ignores them and focuses on Mark and Amy. Amy points her shotgun high, aiming for the monster's head, and shoots. The creature falls over and lies motionless. Amy and Mark enter the camp and start searching. Lying around outside, they find another shotgun and more ammo. Mark takes the second shotgun, and the two of them divide up the ammo. Going inside the tents, they can see numerous papers scattered about. "It would take forever to read all of these," Amy says, "even if we had a light." "And we probably don't have long," Mark says, "before those monsters, our parents, come back." Mark and Amy exit the tent they're in and go back outside. Suddenly, the huge creature that they had supposedly killed earlier starts moving again. "Where can we go now?" Amy says, panicking. "Over there," Mark says. Mark points to a large hole in the ground leading down into the earth. Amy and Mark run over to the hole and jump down into it. The huge creature sticks its arm into the hole but is unable to reach the teenagers. Looking around, the teens can see that they're now in a great underground tunnel complex. Mark and Amy start walking forward down the only path that is available, but soon come to a fork in the path. They start taking the left path, but soon hear the rumbling growls of numerous creatures like the ones that they encountered earlier in the forest. "Why don't we try the other path first, okay?" Amy says, trying to make a joke. Amy and Mark go back and take the right path. They eventually come to a dead end, finding a corpse and a large pair of tongs at the end of the path. Mark picks up the tongs. He looks back and forth between the tongs and the corpse. "Hey," Mark says, thinking, "if I use these tongs to carry that corpse, it might distract the monsters down the first path." Mark picks up the corpse with the tongs. "Oh, I do hope you know what you're doing," Amy says, worried. The two of them go back and take the first path again. They soon realize that they are surrounded by monsters, but the monsters do not try to attack. Their attention is glued to the corpse. Trembling, and as terrified as they could be, the teens do not stop walking forward. Mark soon spots a hole in the ground leading downward. He tosses the corpse into the hole, and the monsters brainlessly jump in after it. Relieved, but still a little shaky, the two teenagers continue walking forward. They eventually come to a large, wide open area in the tunnel that is a dead end. "Well, this is just great," Amy says. I don't know what to do now," Mark says, defeated. "You," a mysterious voice says. "Why are you two still alive?" "It's that voice again!" Amy exclaims. "Since you managed to make it this far," the unseen speaker begins, "I will reward you by telling you everything you want to know before you die." You wish to know why these transformations are happening? People are having all of their emotions slowly sucked out of them. When a person has been completely drained of all emotion, they become an unfeeling, mindless monster that you call a zombie, but they are not the living dead. They are simply ordinary people that are completely devoid of emotion. Their only goal is to get their emotions back, so they attack people who still have emotions, and try to literally suck the emotions out of them. But that is futile. Only means that are supernatural, to you anyway, can be used to suck out emotions. Since they cannot get their emotions back, they try so hard to remember what it is to feel emotion that they eventually turn into a physical manifestation of the last emotion they felt. Although these beasts do not feel emotion, they do smell of the emotion they are based on. That is why the emotionless zombies attack them. "How do you know this?" Mark asks. "Where are you?" Amy demands. "What are you?" "I am the last of my kind," the voice begins again. "Creatures you call monsters, great dragons, krakens, hydras, and other beasts that you believe to be nothing but fantasy made up by the minds of humans. They all existed once. Legends speaking of these creatures that you believe to be mere myths are actual historical accounts telling of our existence and humans' encounters with us. Heroes like Grendel and Cerberus, and villains like Beowulf and Heracles. They really existed once." "Why are you the last monster?" Amy asks. "Because of humans like you!" the last monster spits. "As long as humans and monsters have existed, we have competed for territory, food, and shelter. For a while, monsters' great size and strength made us the victors in these conflicts, but humans gradually invented better technology. With these fearsome weapons in the hands of humans, monsters stood no chance. We were practically wiped out. But not all of us perished. I was able to escape the extermination. I fled to the far north of the world, where no human would disturb me, and then I went into a long period of hibernation. When I awoke from my hibernation, I decided that it was time to wreak vengeance on the evil humans. With my power to suck out emotions, I could wipe them out in one of the most horrible ways possible. And since people who have had their emotions sucked out eventually turn into monsters, not only could I exterminate the humans, but I could repopulate the world with monsters." "And you say humans are evil," Mark says angrily. "Is what you're doing to us any better than what humans did to monsters?" "You said there was a time when monsters usually won their battles with humans," Amy points out. "Humans did take things too far, but if we hadn't developed the technology to defend ourselves, what would have stopped you from exterminating us?" "This pointless talk is getting us nowhere," the last monster says. "I have let you live for far too long as it is. Now, you will finally die, and I will finally be able to carry out my plan unopposed."